Everyone, welcome back to Howtechs. Today we have an iPhone 14 Pro, hot off the presses, just released today. This is the deep purple edition, and we're going to unbox it. You can even see that the box label is purple too. So this is the Japan edition I have right now. So it has a single physical SIM, unlike the US ones, which only have the eSIM. Let's see. So this is the MQ1E3JA iPhone 14 Pro, deep purple color, 256 gigabyte size. And yeah, so it has all the Japan specific things like the Felica, which is like a transport card, etc. Let's take a look inside the box. So the question is, how does the deep purple look compared to the purple? Opens very nice. Oh, looks good. Oh, looks pretty good. Yeah, that is a very deep purple. So just for comparison, I have the not deep purple, the regular purple on the regular iPhone 14, which is much more lavender. This is definitely much more indigo deep purple. Otherwise, very similar. So check out my unboxing video for the 14, but in the meanwhile, let's look more at the 14 Pro. So one of the things with these guys is that this camera bump, the processor underneath it, makes the raised platform here higher. You can definitely see that. I know for the 14, I think for the Pro too, because this is so pronounced, you can't actually use the iPhone 13 cases, which is kind of a scam. But I don't know if that applies for the 14 Pro versus the 13 Pro. Probably does. So yeah, metallic edge, kind of matte finish on the back. The buttons are the same as always. So we have volume down, volume up, silent, and then screen on and off. Let's peel this guy. Take a look at that. So yeah, looks good. Definitely looks good. The other thing I should note is that the physical SIM tray is here. That's actually different than the 14. The 14 is lower. The 14 Pro is higher. So I don't know why. So definitely more attractive than the 14 purple. I'll take deep purple any day. And I'll definitely take these 3 cameras over the 2 cameras on this guy. So anyway, let's take a quick look in the box. There's not much to this anymore. There's basically just the lightning cable that comes with the USB-C plug. So if you don't have a USB-C adapter, you're out of luck because there isn't one in here. So you'll either have to buy one or find one somewhere. Thankfully, they're becoming more common nowadays, so hopefully you already have one. The rest of it is pretty slim. So there's like a sticker. We have the SIM removal tool. You can always just use a paper clip if you need to. And then some, I guess in this case, warranty or safety information in here on the Japanese version at least. Okay, so let's just quickly power it on so you can see the notch. So I think you can see, yeah, there it is. That's the, it's not a notch anymore. It's kind of an island. Ni hao, should say konnichiwa next. No, it says hello. That's actually hello in Cantonese. Now it's konnichiwa. And with the 14, I had the same problem where you need to actually connect it to the net to activate it. So I'm going to skip through this part really fast. So you either need to connect it to a network or connect it to a computer. I'm going to skip through this part really fast. So one interesting thing is if you actually plug it in, you'll see that that black island expands and then contracts. So it's really weird. There's a screen there, but because it's like the OLED that's super high contrast, it looks like the screen's just not working there, but it actually is. Okay, I think we've got it synced. Let's check it out. And yeah. Okay, here's one thing that's new about the 14 Pro and also the 14 is it has crash detection. So it can actually tell if you're traveling at high speed in the car and then you come to a sudden stop, which I guess it can tell the difference between like crashing on a bicycle versus an airplane versus a car. And then the other big one, the really big one, is the satellite SOS signal. And I guess that's not set up yet and it's not available in all countries. So stay tuned for that one, but that should be pretty cool. So if you're away from cell phone coverage, you can still send a help signal. And so let's get started. Oh, here it is, a nice purple wallpaper. Okay, so let's quickly take a look under the hood here. Let's go to General And then about, so here you can see iPhone 14 Pro on iOS 16. There's our model number, 256 capacity, and about 15 gigabytes is used out of the box with the default stuff. Okay, and then again, we have the emergency SOS. This is interesting because a few options here which aren't set up. I think I have to actually set up an emergency contact and stuff like that. But basically, you can call help with 5 presses. So if you press any, I guess, this button 5 times, it'll automatically prompt you to call your emergency number and call with hold. So if you basically hold down the volume, this one again, it should basically bring up the emergency call. And if you do it, I think 5 times, there we go. Yeah, you can get it as well. So let's also check out the camera, set up later. Okay, so let's get our diorama set up. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the camera now with our model, Mr. Woody. And the first thing you notice off the bat is that the lens selection on the side is different than any phone before. Previously, you had, let's say on a 14, you only have 0.5 and 1. On a 13 Pro Max, you only have 3, 1, or 0.5. So this is kind of unique. You have a mid-distance one. And considering that there's only 3 cameras, I'm guessing it switches between 2 or uses 2 and kind of interpolates. But yeah, that's cool though. And then of course, I think you can still do this. And now it goes all the way up to 15 and down to 0.5. So anyway, yeah, you can see the kind of dynamic range there. That's pretty cool. And of course we have video mode, which also has the same zooms. We have cinematic mode, which I don't think we can do here in this case. Slow motion, time lapse. So I'll do a deep dive on the camera in a separate video, but that's basically it. Let's try something a little bit further away. So anyway, let's take a look at what we just took some pictures of. So first let's take a look at Woody. Detail's not too bad. It starts getting blocky. I don't have great light here, so that kind of explains it a little bit, but that's not too bad considering. And then this is Captain America in the corner. He has a little bit better light on him on at least one side of his face. And yeah, the detail's pretty good. He's about, I mean, he's not that far. It's like 2 feet away. Basically, the detail's pretty good considering the lighting and the fact that I was just snapping pictures without any tripod or anything, or even trying to hold it steady. So yeah, you can see not a very high quality figure. So here you can actually see the extent of the black spot here. You can see the camera in there. So one thing I noticed about this while just using it, and I noticed about the 14 as well, is that this protrusion makes it really annoying to use without a case. So even in this case, like the front top is kind of off the table, and it's also unstable because the cameras are touching here and nothing here. So yeah, it's not just that it goes like this, it also goes like this. So it's just annoying. So you definitely want to get a case that supports and protects. Obviously the lenses are very important, but then just to make it usable on a tabletop. So they should either change the design or bundle it with a case. It's like unusable as it is almost. And then last but not least, let's actually pop that physical SIM tray out. So again, if you have the US version, you probably don't have this, but that's what it looks like. You tell me, is that also purple? I think it is also deep purple. I think they just use the same anodized aluminum on that. So again, be careful when you pop it out and be careful when you pop it in. And if you pop it in, make sure that it's smooth so that it's also waterproof. Okay, so that's the iPhone 14 Pro. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also check out my iPhone 14 videos. So I'll do some more in-depth comparison between the features of both. So anyway, that's it for today. See you guys next time here on Howtechs. Bye. Okay, here's the tray. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, it is, I think it's purple the whole way through. At least it is on the outside. You can see the gasket here for the